This
new skills.
conference will now be recorded.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
So we'll start. Welcome to day 6. We'll focus on the benefits integration topic. And
Okay.
today, actually, I'll be focusing on how benefits are configured in specific to US payroll and
Okay.
why benefit is very crucial for US payroll. As you know, whenever
Yes.
people are do the salary negotiation, they look for a new job. They not only check for their own base salary, because the benefits, they also look for the benefits component, because as you know, when I say benefits, it covers your health plan, insurance plan, all those things are also very crucial. And when it comes to health insurance and all, it plays a major role in US compared to other countries, because of the complexity and the cost of the healthcare system in US. So for that reason, whenever people negotiate a salary with the new employer, they go for this, look for this, what are the different benefits the organization or the employer will be providing. So all these are taken care whenever, so by SAP as well. So how these benefits are configured and how these things are, we will be discussing in very detail. Okay. So this is the overall process for entire benefits. Whenever we are talking about the benefits, in the right hand side you'll be seeing the, so as well, I will follow the three step approach. One is the input, second is processing, third is the output. Okay.
Okay.
So whenever we are saying benefits integration, the input will be, it can be three types of input we will be having. One is the benefit plans data. Okay, so when I say benefit plans data, it can be your health plan, it can be your insurance plan, it can be your saving plan, or it can be any other flexible benefits the organization or the employer is providing. That plans related data will be coming into picture. Second is the employee info type data. So it can be, suppose the employee is eligible for health insurance plan or health saving plan. Okay, those data plus his dependents, his or her dependents data, that is also crucial. Okay, so all kind of benefits to be valid. Okay, so those data also will be coming into picture. Third point is your third input will be your vendor data for the provider. So there can be many vendors, insurance vendor, there can be health insurance vendor, like 18 Signals. So many vendors are there. So all those vendor data also, it will go inside your benefits integration. Those are different inputs. Second is your payroll processing schema. So when I say in the standard payroll schema, we have a specific sub schema for benefits. Okay, so
Yeah.
in those benefits, it will process those specific benefits, whatever the data you are having. Then once it is processed, then those once you process your salary, then your output that will be in your cluster table, it will store, and payroll results will be coming there. So once then payroll results is coming into picture, then again it will be go to your finance posting, then again it will talk to your results, it will be given to your different interface with the vendor and the third party processing, whatever is applicable. This is the
Yeah.
overall architecture of a benefits. This is not only for insurance or health, it is applicable for any kind of benefit integration in US payroll. Okay, but it is not restricted to US payroll as well. In Canada also, I have seen people that use this benefit integration. In UK also, to some extent, I have seen. Okay, so wherever there is a benefits integration is happening, so across globally, global payroll. So this is a generic process of a benefits. Okay, so now I'll be now switching back to, so any questions here regarding the benefits process or architecture diagram?
I'm just trying to remember the output from the payroll results that go to the interface. That's
okay.
From the benefits point of view. I'm just trying to remember the output from payroll results that then go to the interface to the vendors.
So basically what happens, I will explain you once I go to the system, then I will explain you how these things are related. Okay.
Okay.
So then you can relate to it. Like it can be like, suppose you have a health insurance plan with a so and so XYZ company, and those data you have claimed, means it has been processed. Suppose it's a group insurance, say, and your employer will be taking care of that, and but your from your salary, certain amount, suppose they are deducting, and you can claim that after once it is processed in your salary, then you can claim that via third party. Okay, so
Okay,
that
so
way you can,
these are just premiums paid either by the
exactly,
employee. Okay, so
exactly.
family or
Hmm.
single or and all that go as premiums that then get paid into the premium accounts for those employees.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
correct. So it can be like this, it will be deducted from your salary, but later on you can claim that from that insurance company or the respective health insurance company. Okay. In that way, it is up to, this depends upon the contract, how the contract has been in the insurance, whatever the policies they have mentioned. It depends upon that, but it is at a high level. This is the process.
Yeah.
So when it comes to US payroll, we have specific info types for different insurance and all. So the most of the things are like 167, 168, 169, 170. So these are the four major info types we have. Okay, so what are those? So 167 talks about all related to health insurance. So it covers your health, medical insurance, your dental insurance, your vision. Okay, and also it covers both your how it impacts on your payroll. In the right hand side you can see like it will be having a like employee will be contribute something and employer will be contribute something. Okay, so the how that cost is calculated, so whatever depending upon your data in your input type 167, it will be seen there. Okay, and how the different coverage, like what is the coverage, suppose your coverage is say 1 lakh US dollar or 50,000 US dollar, depending upon your how what is the premium you are paying. Okay, and also the coverage, whether it is only for employee or employee and the spouse or employee and spouse and family, because accordingly your premium will vary. Your premium will be vary, right? So like suppose if you are covering only yours for yourself, then it will be less. If you're covering your spouse and you, then it will be more. Then your all children also. Then accordingly your coverage will be varying, and those details will be maintained in the info type 167. So that are those are the different things, like all those things. Similarly, same is goes with your 168. 168 is actually for insurance. Insurance means it is except the health insurance. So it is more of a life insurance and accidental death insurance or dependent life insurance. All those things will be covered in the input type 168. 169 is little different. So it is all of related to your 401k, 403b, 457, all these different saving plans in the US government you have. Okay, so you can, depending upon also your age. Okay, so like one day you were asking, like the pay is similar to your pension or similar to your contribution, means provident kind of thing. Okay, so there will be having annual limits for that, and depending upon your contribution, means because these things generally goes to a mutual fund kind of thing. Okay, so in that the risk factor is also there. For that reason, this contribution, we call it catch-up contribution, depending upon the age. Okay, the more your age, the lesser will be the risk factor. So accordingly, it will be planned, your saving plan, depending upon your 401k and whatever you're opting for. So those data will be going to your info type 169. Okay, so those are the things. And last one is the 170. This info type is meant for any kind of flexible spending account. Okay, so you are having a flexible basket. Out of that, you have to choose like what are the plans you require. Okay, depending upon your annual goal. Okay, so it is something different from 167 to 169. So it is a kind of annual goal. So we'll be discussing once you go to the system. I will show you what are the things. Okay, so these four basic info types you have to remember. Like for if someone asks what are the different options we have for benefits, so these are the four major info types which we have for US specific benefits.
Okay.
So now just I have taken the screenshot. When anyway I'll be showing in the system. So this is how the typical screens look like for info type 167. That is our health plan. Okay. So at present the system which you are having, actually it is not properly configured. So we can configure those benefit area, plan. There are some prerequisite is required. Okay. So if those you are configuring those, then you will be able to update this data like plan data, administration, cost, dependent, additional data. So all these 5 tabs you have to fill up. for this employee, if region, or he belongs to Atlanta, and he has to, means depending upon his plan, he has to complete. So but anyway, I'll be showing you how to configure this. So we'll be focusing more on the configuration. Suppose something is new in the future, you want to create a new plan, how to create that. Okay, so how this configured, how this plan is derived, how this benefit area is configured. So those are most important, crucial part of to understand in US. So that I will explain. Okay. So these are the data point, like 167. Similarly, for insurance plan also we have similar screen like 168. 169 is for your saving plans. Okay, like very similar. That in saving plan you'll be finding another two parameters like employee contribution variant, employer contribution variant. Okay, so depending upon that, it will vary. Same goes with your info type 170, creating a flexible spending account plan. Okay, so we will see how these things works. Okay, so these are the different inputs now we have seen till now. Okay, so then how it will be processed. Okay, so someone asks how this benefits gets processed. So US Payroll provides specific sub-schema. So inside your schema U000, you'll be having sub-schema called UBE1 and UBE2. Those are the standard sub-schema provided by US Payroll. Okay, so you have to process using this tool. Generally, we copy this sub-schema and you use your custom schema. Okay, so that anyway, how to configure and all towards the end, I will be covering. Okay, like how
is this two schemas that do different things? Is that correct?
Yeah. So there are some specific purpose of that. Okay. So it is in the standard schema. If you see in the US for US Payroll, inside that these two sub schemas are dedicated for your processing your payroll benefits. Okay, dedicated for those two purpose. But what is the difference? Now that we will be seeing whenever I'll be covering that US payroll schema. I'll be taking 2 sessions for that, like covering how to customize the schema and what are the different scenarios we have for whenever what are the different case studies we'll be seeing. Okay, how we'll be customizing those schema. Okay, so those will be covering the day 9 and day 10. So 2 I have already planned for that. So we'll be seeing that. But as of now, you understand like this SAP provides 2 specific schemas, and what are those standard schema? It is easy to understand, like U for US, B for BE for benefits, UBE1 and UBE2. Okay, so these are the 2 processing schemas they provide, sub schema. And when it comes to output, as I was discussing, these results, once your payroll is processed for US payroll, it goes to say RT tables, your results table, as well as cumulative results table. Once means because these are deduction waste types, right? Mostly these are it will be deducted from your salary. Okay, so for that reason, I have mentioned here those benefits deduction waste types are written to your specific payroll results table, that is your RT and the CRT.
Yeah.
CRT, cumulative results table. So once they go inside the table, then whenever you are doing a payroll posting, finance posting, that we'll be seeing how payroll finance posting is done in the day. One day after, I will explain to you. So these postings are carried out in the GL. Okay, so when I say GL, is general ledger as well as account payable. Okay, and from there, finance in the vendor account. So generally, these vendors are maintained in your finance. Okay, so those healthcare provider or those health vendors and all. So AP means accounts payable. So accounts payable remits this money to the vendors. Okay, so you will be paying to those respective vendors. Okay. Then those interfaces, what are the payroll interfaces and all, they read these payroll results and send those data files to the vendors. Okay, those are basically the IDOC, as I was mentioning. So today also I will show you how a typical data transfer happens. Okay, once you are process your this payroll benefits, US benefits. Okay, so that I will show you today. So this is all regarding your end-to-end process. Like what are the inputs, how this is processed, and what is the output of your US payroll benefits integration.
Okay.
Then I will be focusing. Then I will be showing directly into the system, like what are the different configuration steps. Okay. So anyway, I'll be showing you in the system, so I'm not reading through it. So this is actually the path, the payroll USA. Then there is specific node. So which says benefits integration. We will be seeing those couple of nodes, how these are configured. Okay, and when you configure, there are a set of waste types when you for US specific benefits, and US it is predefined like BNU. There's a waste type grouping altogether. Under that benefit use US type group, whatever is relevant for your organization. Suppose you have your specific need for your savings employer or 457 plan, 401k employee. So all these things are standards are given. Only thing is you have to, it is as usual, like you configure a waste type, right, by going to the transition OH11 or directly coming to this particular node, that is create waste type catalog. Okay, so this same thing, same node it will go, and you have to configure that set of benefits waste types. Okay, because it may happen in the future, you may require some customization into that specific to your organization or client. Okay, for that reason, we recommend.
So the first step is to create the waste types.
Yes, yes. The first step is to create a waste types. Okay, so I will show you. So in configuration steps, when I go to the system, I will show you. Okay, the first step is actually the creating the waste type specific catalog and all. Okay, then you create a specific benefit area. Okay, so similar to a payroll area, we define a specific benefits area. So I'll explain what is a typical benefit area, how it looks like. Okay, so once the benefit area has been created, then we define the model. Okay, so this is the most important activity, like how your compensation or benefits model will be looking like. Okay, has to create the model. Then inside the model, we configure.
Is it a benefit model or compensation model? Which one is it? Because I'm seeing compensation model.
It says compensation model, but actually it's a benefit model. Okay, so there is a different model for your generic compensation, but this is actually a benefit model, but they name it, actually they call it create a gross compensation model and a configuration gross compensation model, because they use this terminology compensation and benefit interchangeably. Okay.
Okay.
So you do not have to confuse about it, because it is under, because there is a different node for compensation altogether. You do not have to go there.
Yeah.
So always come inside the benefits integration, whichever is there, that node you have to use. Okay, so for creating this gross compensation model, it's nothing like that, like just you have only name, you have to give a name. So it can be simple name like this, or model, compensation model earning, or flex model, or hourly model. So you can give your own name. Okay, so for inside, once you create this model, okay, but
I'm trying to understand how they apply. You know how we have a wage type model. Sorry, not wage type model. Is it wage type model? No. Oh yeah. And then what does it mean to have a compensation model? What does it mean in terms of from the business side of things?
Okay, I will show that in the system, then you will be able to understand. So first, now you just understand, we have to define, it's a kind of definition. We are just defining a benefit model. Okay, so inside the model, again, we'll be defining what are the different wage types. Okay, so once you go to the next step, you will be able to understand. Okay, so like whenever you are defining a compensation model, after defining the compensation model, you assign to a benefit area. Okay, so it may happen you have a different benefit area. Suppose for California, one benefit area, for another location you have a different benefit area. So which model will be applicable for which benefit area? Okay, that we align here. Okay, so if I say configure gross compensation model, okay, so in this step what we do, whatever the compensation model we have defined in the previous step, like I have shown you the flex model, earn model, hourly model. Okay, so that model we generally link to a specific benefit area. Okay, so how benefit area and these things are configured, that is a different node altogether. So that I will be also showing you where exactly this, suppose in your system you do not have any benefit area, how to configure benefit area, that I will show you first. Okay, so generally that is generally part of your PA configuration, your personal administration, generally the people cover it. But anyway, I will be, as it were discussing a payroll, so I'll be showing you that as well. Okay, so then it will be very clear to you. Okay, so first I will show that. Okay, and then I will come to this one. Okay, whenever I am showing the system, so that there will be no confusion for this.
Okay.
Okay. So once you go to inside the model, so it will say what are the different wage types you are going to assign. Okay. Suppose I am talking about the flex compensation model. Okay. So under flex model, which are the different wage types you would like to align? Okay. So like it can be unemployment tax, or it can be any thought. Tax is not an applicable. Mostly you'll be finding health insurance or any training related or anything, Medicare related thing. Okay. So whatever relevant for you in that model, you have to discuss with your client as per their requirement. So it will be going into that particular model. Okay. So in this way we configure it. So I will start your session, means whenever I will, so in the next 5 minutes, I will be showing you the system directly, like in the how this configuration is done in the from a PM. So this there is set of configuration under payroll, and there is set of configuration under PM. Okay, like your personal management, where we do your OMPA related configuration. Okay, so these benefits actually I'll be showing you first this one. Okay, then I'll be coming into that. Okay, so that you'll be able to understand in a better way.
What part of it? Sorry, I didn't understand. What part of it goes into is done in PA? I mean PA.
Actually, it doesn't directly related to PA, but from a configuration structure point of view, they put it here under the PM basically.
Yeah.
If
Okay,
you see
PM,
the SPRO, personal management, there are certain configuration like your PA, OM, okay, all these things stuffs are there. Okay.
Yeah.
So those set of initial setup of configuration like your benefits, employee ESS, the basic settings, okay, like how to define benefit area, okay. So those things are configured here. So I'll show you this one first, then I'll move to the other topics. Okay. So in the demo. Okay. So this is for today from a theoretical point of view. Tomorrow we'll be starting the garnishment. But today I'll be focusing on the practical. So for that reason, today I kept the theory very less. So conceptually, but in the system, I'll show you a lot of things. So yeah, let me go back to the system and I will explain you everything there.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I will go to SPRO.
Yep.
SAP reference ING. Then I have to search for the personnel management.
Okay.
Personnel management. Here we go. So inside personal management, you can see there are a lot of things are there, like your normal OMPA, PD, all this configuration done here. So here two things you'll be seeing. They are closely together, benefits and compensation. I say you are asking one good thing, like the compensation management, right? So compensation management, actually this is for your, there's a different module that is called ECM, Enterprise Compensation Management. Okay.
Yeah.
So those configurations are done here, like your job pricing, your budgeting, all those things are there, compensation area. So it is more related to compensation part. So you do not want to confuse regarding this because they do not have a model here like this. Okay. For that reason, they are not using the terminology called model. You know, if any of this configuration, if you see, okay, so mostly they do have all kind of benchmarking, salary benchmarking, compensation packers, guidelines. Okay. So at present also, if you see in success factor, okay, so this ECM is no longer used. So we have a module, different module for compensation, success factor compensation, and there is another module called variable pay. Okay, so these are two different.
I saw that. What is that?
Yeah, in success factor, compensation means whatever you are doing in the on-premise, those things, right? The job pricing, budgeting, your comparatio. So all these things were there inside. You have benchmarking of a salary. Okay, what? So you are doing an external survey. Okay, suppose this is the benchmark. This is the minimum for a particular, say, grade. Suppose you are working on, you are having an experience of 10 years, and you are working so and so grade, say grade 10 or grade 11. And for a similar experience, you do a salary survey, like outside you do salary survey, means through any vendor like Aon Hewitt or any Mercer. Okay, there are different vendors. You take those data from them. Okay, so you have to do a survey outside and you have to compare inside your organization what is the pay average pay for that particular skill set, particular level of experience. So you do a kind of internal benchmarking and all. So accordingly, you give an increment. Okay, so that is the best practices, industry best practices people follow. It is not like you have worked for 10 years, this is your salary. Otherwise, people will leave for a better salary from your organization. So because there are so many opportunities outside, they will go outside, they will search for job, and they will leave you unless and until your salary is competitive compared to the market value. Okay.
Yes.
So for that reason, this mostly this compensation management in your on-premise and compensation management in your success factor they use. And also in success factor we have variable pay. So most of your bonus payment and all that happens there. And also these days they've included this R&R, reward and recognition, sport award. Okay, so those things are also now part of, directly not part of your salary, means you're literally processed to your payroll, but those recognition and all, these are actually given via different module. In SuccessFactors, they through compensation and variable pay module, but it was not very much prominent in your on-premise. It was very basic in the on-premise. So you do not be confused about this compensation management module. So if it is there, so all of the benefits application will be benefits definition configuration will be happening inside this benefits node itself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So there are set of nodes here. So I will go one by one. So first one is the basic settings. So what we do here, so in the basic settings, first of all, we define the benefit area. It is very similar to your payroll area.
Yeah.
But thing is, you have to define it yourself, like which benefit area and which country grouping. So it can happen for a specific country, you can have a multiple benefit area. Okay, so that you have to understand. Okay, so here you can see for country grouping 10, that is your US, we have 3 benefit area, that is a 10, 15 and 20. Okay, so you can also create a new benefit area saying, say, I'll create another benefit area, say 98 or 10 US grouping.
Right. Yeah.
So country grouping US. So I will just save it. If it is already existing, then I think it will not allow, okay, because it will check the duplicates and all. So it will ask for a description. So it is actually asking for a description as well. Say test benefit. Yeah, test benefit.
Yeah.
In this way, you just create it.
It's basically, is this something that you kind of go to? I mean, you ask the organization, how do you categorize your benefits so that you can then define how you are sending to the country group MOGA?
So basically, you have to segregate. Is there any? Suppose here in this example, you will be seeing like mostly they have a configure. So like for how many varieties up there? Okay.
Yeah.
So for US, they are having they are following a different two different structure. One is flex benefit type 1, type 2, and one is a generic one. Okay. So it may not be necessary always to create multiple benefit area. It depends upon your organizations and all. Okay. So you can see for Thailand they have created one, for Japan they have created one, for Canada they have created one, for US they have created 3 different types. But it is not necessarily required. Depending upon your scenario and variation of your benefits, how you are offering. Okay. So that accordingly you have to decide how many benefit area you will be having. Okay. If it is different.
Can we say, for instance, just an example, just a very innocent example. Can we say, okay, benefits for senior management is 10, benefits for managers and below 15, benefits for unions maybe 25. Is that kind of category useful? I mean, does this sound useful? Is it
not
something
very
like that?
Not directly. Like you will be having the suppose rules and regulations are completely different for 2 different locations. Mostly these are location specific, not the categories of employees and all. Suppose depending upon
location specific.
Yeah. So mostly these are location specific. Okay. So you can see for different Mexico they have a different one, for international they have a different one. Okay. So mostly these are the way. But according to your scenario, you can configure it. So this functionality they have been given. But to start with, you can start with the one benefit area. If need arises in the future, and you can create more benefit area as well. If I go to the system, so you can read this like what are the different purposes of your benefit area. A lot of things they have given.
Okay, this is interesting.
So here, as you're asking the example here, I'll be giving in this from this text itself. Okay. So they have given an example like, as I was mentioning, right? It is a location specific. So they have given first example, the same one. Okay.
Yeah.
Like an organization provides a different set of benefits to employees in different regions.
Regions. Okay. Okay.
Reason. So that is a good example.
A
Like
good
here,
example,
so like if for California, there is some Pennsylvania benefit area for a group of benefit areas. Suppose say for you are having your location is say you are having 7 different locations. Okay. So in the first benefit area, you can decide for California, Maryland, and Pennsylvania. You have a similar principles. Okay, similar calculation process for those 3 reasons. Okay. So you can decide that will belong to your one benefit area, that is 01. Okay, you can decide that as well.
Okay.
Similarly, for New England, Massachusetts, and DC, you have a different set of benefit area, different calculations for those area. So you can define accordingly. So it is whether you just given a justified example. Okay, so you can think of this kind of scenario, this kind of examples rather you can give to your customers whenever you're working in the project. Okay, and second example they have given, an international organization has a 2 subsidiary. Okay, and they acquired a third subsidiary. It is a kind of a scenario where merger and acquisition happens in between 1 or 2, and these things. So these scenarios are very common. Okay, so whenever there is a M&A happening, merger and acquisition, one company is acquiring in a different company. Okay, so it happens. It may happen. Employees in the subsidiary still they will be using the benefits from the previous company. Okay, so like. In this example, you have given one example. So these are actually critical whenever you are appearing for any kind of interview. They may ask for in what cases, what are the different scenarios you have come across. Okay, so you may not have that experience, but you can tell like these are different scenarios that you have the knowledge on this. Like the parent company, suppose it's a US based company. Okay, and US based company, and you have a 2 subsidiaries. Subsidiary 1 in US, subsidiary 2 is in Great Britain. Okay, that is in the UK. Okay. Suppose you would like to have, even if it is a divestiture example. Okay, one company divided into 2 different company, but subsidiary 1 actually they still want to use the original, the first companies when the parent company's process. They don't want to go with the new one. Okay, suppose there is second subsidiary, subsidiary 2, that is which is UK based. Okay, so for that reason they may want to go with the initial benefits process and all. So you can use in that case. This is another scenario. In this case, we use different this kind of scenarios. And for this, also we have a feature, something called BAREA, benefit. Yeah. Okay. So by going to PE03, I will just show you that. Okay. You can define this benefit area there as well. Means depending how it will system will understand. Okay. So for any kind of feature, we need to go through PE03 and we can see benefit area, the area. Benefit area. If I go display, I can see for space we have, I think they must not have configured something. Okay, something can configure them. Okay, so you can see for they have defined it depending upon their org unit. Okay, so previous example I have given, they have defined those benefit area according to different scenarios. But here you can see whatever the benefit area we have decided, right? Those 3 benefits area 10, 20, 15 we have created, right, in the configuration. So how system will understand which benefit area belongs to which org unit or which it is not like org unit. You can also define, as you know, you can define it as a PA basis also, personal area basis, on the basis of your personal sub area and area. Okay, so this is just an example here. Depending upon your scenario, you can assign a particular benefit area to a particular org unit, or it can be a particular personal area. Okay, so you can define, and you can also default it. Okay, suppose if it is not belonging to anything, then you can put it on the otherwise as a 10. So that is a default benefit area. So in this way, you can use this feature. So if someone asks what is the feature you have used, is there any feature you have used in benefit area, then you can explain this BAREA feature, BAREA. That's the benefit area feature. Okay, so this is a nice feature.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So then we'll go back to our original config. So again, we have to scroll SPRO. SPRO, SAP IMG, then Again, we'll go to the personal management and personal management, then your benefits. So we are talking about the benefit basic settings of the benefit area. So once we have defined your benefit area, so then we will be assigned the currency. So why we are assigning a currency? Even if you are having example like even if you are assigning country grouping, so why we are assigning? Because it may happen. The example which I have given regarding that subsidiary example. Okay, one subsidiary may go to UK. So in that case, your US dollar currency will not work for UK, right? So for that reason, we generally assign specific currencies also for a specific country or a specific business, your benefit area. We define your specific currency also. Okay, so that is the purpose of using a currency. So for US, mostly it is US dollar. Suppose if your benefit area is falling outside of your US, accordingly you decide your benefit area. Suppose it is coming to say your Canada. Okay, suppose one of your location is your benefit area coming outside of your US. Okay, then you will be paying them through Canadian dollar. Okay, not US dollar. Okay. For that reason, we assign this currency as well. So that is the purpose. Okay, of assigning currency to a benefit area. So this is second one. The third configuration is defining the benefit providers. Okay, so this is again very simple. Like you can have a different benefit provider like Prudential, New York Life, or Cigna, depending upon fidelity. Okay, so depending upon your client, whatever the possible HRP means, these are different benefits provider for your organization. You can define them. Basically, you define them, nothing much. Only you have to click new entry and just give a number and give that name of that. It is very as simple as that. Okay, it's one time and you have to define those benefits area. Then fourth one is the setting the current benefit area. Okay, what is the meaning of it? So whenever I am saying setting current benefit area, okay, that means I am focusing all of my configuration for that particular benefit area. Suppose I am selecting 10. Okay, so 10 USA. Okay, there is no entry here. Suppose you are only choosing whatever benefit area we are choosing. Then I will show you the impact. How is it will impact your configuration? Say I have chosen USA benefit area 10. Okay, so now you can see in the below section there is a message which says you are currently working in benefit area 10. Okay? So what is the meaning?
So you are what does this set mean? What does it do? Is it just to help you configure one benefit area before the other?
Exactly. So you are correct. So whenever you are configuring the benefits configuration, you can configure only one benefit area at a time. So all the configuration related to the benefit area 10. Now, if you go to any of the configuration, it will be asking, and all the configuration will be planned for. It will be related to and integrated with your benefit area 10 only. Okay. Suppose I'll give you one example here. Suppose I am going for defining a flexible benefit in the next node. Okay. It is not a right example. Let me go back. I will tell you this example. I will just park it here, but I will take you once I go to the payroll benefits integration. Then I will explain you. I will just remember it.
So can you go back to the set one? So if you the set current benefit area, yeah, that one. Okay. Now you have chosen 10. Assuming I now want to say I want to choose 15. I just highlight it and click the check mark.
Yes. Suppose 15 is not there here. Okay. Sorry. 15 is there. Suppose I'm choosing 15 here. Okay. Yeah, so I have to only choose the tick box. Okay. So now you will be seeing you are currently working in benefit area 15. Okay.
So do I then start? I don't understand. What is the sequence here? Is this the correct sequence then? If I'm going to configure everything under 10, do I then first create the benefit area, then set it at 10, then create the rest things, or what do we do?
No, don't confuse regarding this. It is really little confusing. But whenever you're defining this benefit area at one go, you can define multiple benefit area. Like suppose you have 5 different benefit area, 10, 15, 20, multiple benefits. You can define it one time, but
Yeah.
when you are doing the rest of configuration, like suppose you are doing the configuration related to the 10 or 15 only, you can do only one configuration at a time. Okay, so
that's
that
what I'm
will
saying.
be
So something like, for instance, if you see assign benefit area to assign currency to the benefit area, define benefit provider. What I'm saying is that once you define the benefit area, and now you need to then assign, define flexible benefits. That we have to follow. Each of these ones have to follow one benefit area at a time.
Exactly. So up to this 3 point, you do not have any confusion. Like define benefit area, assign currency to benefit area, define benefit provider. There is no issue. So then whenever you're setting any current benefit area, suppose I am setting it to say 10. Okay. So this configuration will be coming again whenever I'll be discussing the next set of configuration. This is not here. Now you can see you are currently working in benefit area 10. Okay. So now what I will show you, if I'm going to, and there is another set of configuration which is a very much specific to US payroll. Okay, so that I will just show you quickly.
Okay.
How it is impacting and where it is actually impacting now. Once I show you, then I'll be again coming back here. Okay, let me go back to US payroll. Suppose I'm going to payroll.
Yeah.
Payroll inside
US.
that you have US payroll. Then US, under that we have benefit integration. So the initial one which we have seen, that is the benefit your basic configuration, but you do not worry, the same node is repeated here also. Okay, so that current benefit area is right, whatever we have seen in the personal management. The same node is available here as well. Suppose I'm going here. So that same node is available here. Suppose I'm going for benefit area 10. Okay. So once it's set up, so you can see like currently working in benefit area 10. Okay. So if I do the remaining set of configurations, say I'm defining a gross compensation model. Okay. I'm defining a gross compensation model. It will by default, it will choose the benefit area 10. Did you get that point?
Yeah.
Because it has a lot of options here, but by default it will choose 10. Now I will suppose I'll give you another example. Suppose I could have chosen say 15. Okay. So I will explain you, but it will be very clear.
Yeah.
And suppose I'm going to selecting benefit area 15 here. US tax benefits 15. Now the message you are getting, you are currently working in benefit area 15. Okay. Suppose I'm going for creating a compensation model here. By default, it took 15. Okay, so you don't have to remember like which benefit area I'm working, but still system provides an option to choose here. Okay, like you can choose always, but from a configuration point of view, so by default, whenever you're choosing any specific benefit area in the current setting, okay, you can always choose that. And the remaining set of configuration, whatever you'll be seeing, it will be based on that particular set which you have already chosen. Like suppose I'm going for assigning a deduction model. Okay, so still no, it will not be here. So because it is not relevant for this. Suppose anything you are choosing here, like as I was giving an example of gross compensation model or model. Okay, so benefit area by default it is chosen 15 because I have set it to 15. Okay, that is the clear-cut example here. Okay. You understood, right?
Yeah. So basically, the ones before before the set benefit area can cut across, and you can define those ones. It doesn't matter. It doesn't affect. It's not. You don't do it per benefit area. But from that point onwards, it's important that you make sure you get it right and do it per benefit area.
Exactly. Yeah. So this is a
before
feature they have given.
Before then, you can use the feature and all the other things. It doesn't matter really.
Exactly. So those configurations are important. Okay. Other than that, I will just cover the remaining part. So the remaining part actually is depending upon your organization, whether you are using this flex benefits or not. Okay. So if you are not using, then you can skip it. If you are using, then you can define it. Okay, like what is a flexible benefit scheme attribute? Okay, so if I go there inside this, you will be seeing for a particular benefit area. Suppose if you are using any flexible benefit, you can set that. Otherwise, you can choose no flexible benefit. If it is not applicable, you can choose it to no flexible benefit. Otherwise, you can choose. There are 4 varieties of thing. Like this is again conceptual. Like they call it total package, because that means they follow a total package structure, or they follow a depending upon your additional funding. Suppose you are given a package inside your package, say $1 lakh you have given, and other than that, if anything is required, that will be part of your additional funding. Okay, so there are different schemes are available. This is not directly related to SAP. Depending upon your scheme, whether it is an additional funding is required or no additional funding, it will be part of your total package CTC only, or no flexible benefit mode. Depending upon that, your scenario you can set up. Depending upon your that particular benefit area, you decide your flexible benefit plan and all. Okay, so use that scheme attribute, you define it here. So once you have this scheme attribute has been defined, in the next step, what we do, we define the pension cell. Suppose if you are having system of concept of selling your pension, okay, so if you are using, then you just go to select that, or national insurance. If you are having some that is more relevant for UK, I have seen national insurance they use. Okay, so if it is applicable for you, then you just tick it here. Okay, so that is the only thing. They call it an NI neutrality and pension cell check. Okay, so this is the flexible benefit. If you
what is the pension? Is it that is it pensionable, or what's it?
It is basically the pension, whatever generally it is. Suppose depending upon your organization, generally what I have seen. So there is an straightforward, they deduct it from your salary and they contribute to towards your pension. Okay, in India also same things are there. We call it in India National Pension Scheme, NPS we call it here in India. So similarly in US also you can have those kind of feature functionalities, like certain amount of your salary they will contribute to a pension fund. Okay, and towards the end, suppose if you are retiring in the same organization, so then you will be given that amount with interest. Okay, so those, actually it depends, but many of the organizations actually depend. In US government also I have not seen much scenario, such kind of scenario, but depending upon it, so for that reason they cover it in flex. Okay, so you can see all these 4 things are covering under your flex benefits. Okay, depending upon whether you are opting for it or not. Okay, so similarly for additional funding, okay, for underspending, for overspending, you can define those configuration here. Okay, by default it will go to the benefit area 15. Then you can decide. Okay, suppose if it is a flexible benefit underspending, suppose if you're not spending a particular amount. Okay, so depending upon your scenarios and all, you can decide to configure, but it's not necessary to configure everything. The essential part is your defining the initial 4-5 things which I have discussed, like defining the benefit area, currency, benefit provider, setting the benefit area. These 4 are essential, but remaining 4, it is up to you depending upon your scenarios and all. You can define that. Okay, so once you are done with your creating, these are the basic settings which I have discussed. Then next is your related to plan. Okay, so what are the different plans? Okay, so in US you can have it. There are different types of plans, like health plan, as well as discussing health plan, insurance plan, saving plans, stock purchase plans, FSA, that is a flexible spending accounts, credit plans. If something is different, then you can define it under miscellaneous plans. Okay, also we have holiday plan, pension plan, company car plans. So these are different plans we have specific for US government. For US payroll, we have, suppose somebody asks you what are the different plans available in your US benefits, and you can explain all these in a very detailed manner. Like, so we will not be going very detail of it, like they're more or less similar. Okay, so I'll explain you one. Like suppose I'm going for health plan. Okay, so it is very much similar. Suppose you are deciding go for a particular health plan, then you have to, so there are different subcategories. Okay, suppose in health plan we have like medical plan, your dental or your vision. Okay, so these are all you can see here. It is defined. You can similarly define for a particular benefit area what are the plans are applicable. Okay, it may happen. So Andy, like suppose you are defining a for benefit area 10, it may not be in that particular entity. You are not giving the dental plan. Okay, so you may decide what are the different plans available for a particular benefit area. Okay, so at present what I am doing, whatever I am doing, so in the same screen I can always see in which benefit area I am configuring it. Okay?
Oh.
So now system will say you are currently working in benefit area 15. So we have to be very much mindful. What are the plans actually you are covering in a particular benefit area? Okay, so that will not be
is this from the one you set earlier on in the basic
exactly.
setting? Oh,
exactly,
wow.
exactly. You are correct. You are absolutely correct. So, so SAP has not given a different node for how to align those things. Rather, they have told. So, like if you are defining a particular benefit plan, okay, so you go to set that. You first of all set up that benefit initial benefit area. Then you come back, and after that you go to an individual benefit plan. You can cover it. So now, if I will I can also show you the same example here. Suppose I'm setting the benefit area as a 10. Okay, then again it will go back to my, suppose again I'm going back to creating these plans. Okay, so then it will say you are currently working in benefit area 10. Okay, so now we can see, so benefit area 10 has a different one, like SAP US public sector, HMO. Okay, so similarly you can create multiple health plan for specific for that particular benefit area. Okay, so this is the concept here. While configuring, you have to be very much mindful about it. Okay, so every time you have to go back to your so I will suggest you first configure everything for one benefit area. Suppose you are having only one benefit area, then there's no problem at all. Okay, so you have to be very careful about that. But you have a multiple benefit area, then you have to be extra careful again. So you have to, every time you come here in set current benefit area, then you go to individual thing. Okay, suppose you are going for the benefit area 10. Okay, so I think there is something here I don't know, understand. Actually, these are two different same node only, but somehow in this system they have two nodes for the same thing. But
are they the same? Are they not the same?
Yeah, both are same only. Actually, I do not know why it is there are two things, but unless until in your real system you'll be finding only one. But I'm not sure how it's there. Might be some issue. Once you define this health plan, then similarly you can define your other plans as well. So I'm not going detail. So as you are having system, you can go through it, but it's more or less same only. Okay, so you would define your different, how the process remains the same. First of all, you set off in that particular benefit area, and you have to define. So here nothing has been defined. You can just click new entries and you can define, and you can put a start date of that. Then the coverage part. So okay, so how you define the dependent coverage option? So we define it here. Okay, so like there can be different permutation combination of your benefit plans, right? It can be self plus child, it can be family, it can be single. Okay, so here also we can define them how many number of dependents, 2 or 1, 3 or anything. Okay, so that it will be taken care. Okay, whenever you are, and that is also for a specific benefit area 10. It may vary for another benefit area. So 15 it may vary. So this is the place where you have to come here and you define your benefit dependent coverage. Okay, who will be covered in that particular benefit plan. Okay. So other than that, in next node we define your maximum and minimum number of. Okay, suppose I'm choosing a 2-person. Okay, so in this I'll be defining benefit number of dependents per subtype. Okay, so individually particular subtype, how many people will be dependents, minimum dependents, maximum dependents for a particular subtype. In subtype, I'll be getting all these options, like say mostly this for child. So child means, suppose you have a person has 3 kids. Okay, like you can be defined like minimum 1, maximum 3. Okay, in this way you can define, and minimum non-taxable. Okay, maximum non-taxable. Okay, all this configuration, it depends upon your organizations, their policies. Okay, depending upon their policies, again it will vary. Okay, so
when we say something is taxable, that means it's provided by the employer, isn't it?
Yeah, true.
If it's coming out from my pocket, it cannot be taxed. But if it's coming from the employer, then it can be taxed.
Yeah, so depending upon your scenario, again, taxes is something very critical thing, and how it is, whether it's taxable, non-taxable, what component is taxable, up to what is taxable, again depending upon your locations, which province or which location you are working, the statutory laws and all the how the organization also they have their own policies. Even if they are bound to follow the statutory, and other than on the top of the statutory things, still they want something restriction is there. They can depending upon their organization policies they can define. Okay, so in this case all these things you can configure. Same goes with your cost variant also. Suppose you are having a standard medical plan, what are the different options you can have? Like it should be deducted only for employed, it should be deducted only for employee plus dependent. Okay, so all these things you can configure. So these are all standard things they have already given, but depending upon your scenario, whatever is applicable, you can define it. Same goes with your cost rules also, like how this cost rule will be working. Suppose you are having a company dental plan. Okay? So if I go inside the company dental plan, so there can be different types of cost you can associate, like cost 1, cost 2, and cost 3, and you can set up limit here. Okay, like employer will be maximum this much, employee will be maximum this much. Okay, or provider cost is this much. Okay, in this way you can define for different varieties. Okay, or suppose it may happen in future it is increasing. So here in this example you will see for till 2000 there is a different set. Okay, and tomorrow suppose in 2000 onwards there is another this value got increased. Okay, so you can set up.
How do I extend it here? I don't know. Do you just do new entries?
Yeah, it is just you can delimit the old entries. Okay, you can do a delimiting your old entry. Suppose I'm delimiting on 31st.
Oh, okay.
31st, 12, 2010. Okay,
yeah.
Sorry, 2019. 31, 12. I think I have
2001. 2001 or?
Yeah, 31. Let me put exact figure. 31, 12, 2019. Suppose I'm putting a start date. Okay, so then I will start from 31. Sorry, actually I can put to 1st of January 2020 as well. Okay, nothing like that. So I can increase the new amount, say 8,000. Okay. This one is 8,000, and this one is say 9,000. Because it is a common scenario across organization, not only in US.
Yeah,
because so you have to understand how. This is very common because the policy changes and all. You can define it. Okay, once it is done, just try to enter it. You can see there is a third entry here.
Okay.
So
yeah.
Okay. So the previous entry is now means it got ended in 30 December 2019. From last date of 31/12/2019, you have a new policy, and accordingly you have the figure will be accordingly vary. Okay. So in this way you can make this configuration changes, and you just save it this entry. Okay. Then it will be your transport request. If you would like to move it, then you have to move it to the production and quality testing. So in this way you can change. This is a common scenario across plan. Okay, so depending on your plan, it will be vary. So same goes with other cost also. Like you can configure it. I'm just trying to move out of it, and I will come back to the main page.
Okay.
So same goes with your other things. So, but those are optional. Suppose if you are using any HS relevant or SD, there are different plans actually. In US, it is these are actually a little complicated, and you have to understand what are the different plans available. You can go through it. Okay. And the same goes for insurance. The way I have mentioned for health plan, right? It is very much same. Okay. Only thing is your coverage is different, your cost variant is different. You can see very similar nodes are there. Only difference is it is called insurance. It is related to insurance. So I'm not going into that depth. So same goes with your saving plans. Same goes with your means here the additional thing is how much employee will be contributing and how much employer will be contributing. That we define it here. Okay. So like here, suppose what is most popular is 401k saving in US. So you must be also configure means doing that, right? 401k you must be doing. So
yes, I have it.
Okay. So similarly here we define it. It's mostly is annually, and employer contribution how much and what is the cutoff date, seniority basis. So as of for different seniority basis you can define it. or depending upon your salary, or depending upon your waiting period. Okay, so all these things you can define depending upon your client scenario. Okay, so match all these different saving plans, you can configure it. So ideally, compared to other countries which I have seen from my experience, in US payroll, this actually takes a lot of time to configure. Okay, so if you are doing for a implementation all, it is complicated. Yeah, because US in benefits is more one of the critical part in US compared to other countries payroll. Okay, so it's as good as the same learning curve for your similar to your other payroll components. Same goes with the stock also. Suppose if your company is providing stock purchase plan, okay, so you can define all this contribution similar to your saving plan. And other than that, we have flex plan like flexible spending. So these are nothing different, which I have discussed with you. Okay, so very much similar. Nothing. Only thing is that healthcare and all little bit tricky. But other than that, insurance comes under one category, and these saving plans also come under one different category. So all these are same, very similar. You can see different spending, flexible spending. Okay, if it is not fitting anything, then you can go for miscellaneous plan. Okay, suppose you have a completely different plan specific to your organization, and which is not matching with the whatever recipe is provided, then you can define your own plan. Okay, so that will be covering under your miscellaneous plans and all. So those are all different investment, vesting, interest. Okay, all these things are comes under your different benefits and all. Also Cobra, also COBRA, some of them they use to any Cobra plan or flexible administration, how we are just administrating all those activities. Okay, that we do it here. Okay, any kind of adjustment and all. But these are the basic set of configuration. But when it comes to integration, now we'll be going back to the integration part. Okay, where exactly? So before I go, I'll just show you one thing. Let me. So how we are, once your process, salary is processed, how these benefits actually go to the different third party. Okay, so that we can.
Is this still part of benefits? Is this under benefits?
Yes, it is still part of your benefits. Okay, so there is something called transfer data to provider. Okay, so
transfer data. Sorry, what is that?
Transfer of data to the provider. So provider in the sense, those are the third party provider, right? Those insurance vendor or health insurance vendor. Okay, so to make those, how will we defining those data to those, transferring those data to provider, because that requires an IDOC. Okay, for that we need an IDOC, concept of IDOC. Okay, so we define the IDOC here, defining the employee class for a particular field. If I go here, okay, so here we define for a specific employment class what is the IDOC it is required to, so that the whenever you're processing your salary, after processing your salary and after finance posting is done, it will be respective your third party provider, whether it is depending upon your provider, whether it is Cigna or any other things. Okay, it will go to those respective provider and it will be operating their system as well. So this is a kind of interface. We will define it here. Other than that, you have something called GB, but it is for UK. You do not have to worry about it. It is for UK. When I say user exit for GB Flex Plan, you do not have to worry. But for that reason, it is a generic benefits plan. Okay. Other than that, so this is set of configuration with generic one, and specific to US. Now I'll be coming back. So specific to US, again there is a specific basic settings which you have already seen. Okay, like your payroll organizations and all. What are the different? Not this one. Just a minute. I'll go back to the benefits integration. So here exactly, once I go to the waste type catalog benefit integration, automatically system will pop up your what are the set of benefit waste types, the model waste types. Here I'll just choose US. So here you can see, so the waste type group B and U. Okay, so these are my list of benefits waste types which you can copy. There are all set of waste types which are relevant for your benefits. Then you just copy to your custom number waste types and you define your waste type log text here. Okay, so in this way you can define your custom benefits waste types from this. This is very similar to creating a waste type. The way you configure a waste type is very similar to that. Any question here, Andy?
Yeah, I didn't get the navigation. Navigation to this to create this benefits wage types. I just need the navigation.
Okay. So I'll go back again. I will go back and show you. So the initial set of configuration which I have shown you, those are the generic configuration, the initial one, but it is under specific US. Suppose I'm going to let me make an exit. Okay. So it is under Payroll USA. Okay.
Yeah.
Under Payroll USA, I have to go to directly to the benefit integration. So initially what I have shown to you, those are normal benefits that was under your PM, personal management. Okay. So now all the specific to US, we have this only 7 set of configuration we have to do. First of all, we have to define the waste type catalog where exactly we configure the waste types. Okay. So what are the custom waste types you are creating? Okay. It will go there, and suppose let's say I'm not choosing US, suppose I'm choosing something else, UK, Great Britain. Okay, so then it will not give anything here. Okay, so you're not finding those set because UK do not have those model waste types for these benefits and all. So for that reason, it is not coming. Okay, so if I choose specific to US, say I'm going US, then only I'll be getting that specific set of model waste types. So these are the different waste types SAP has provided already under waste type group B and U. Okay, you just copy that and you at your own customer namespace you can configure those specific waste types. Okay, saving whatever is applicable for you. It may not be like it is not required to configure everything. Whatever is relevant for your client, okay, only that you configure and copy from here.
Okay.
That is the first thing inside whenever you're talking about integration piece.
Yeah.
So now once it is done, it is very same set of current benefit area. It is the same repetitive node, whatever we have seen earlier. Okay, the same node. We are just setting that. The next one is important whenever you are creating a gross compensation model. Okay, so what we do it here. So inside this, I will just go to the benefit area 10. Okay, so if there is any new compensation model I am defining for my company, I'll just click new entries and I will say flex or I will say total reward. Total reward benefit model. I have a specific compensation model or benefit model. I will say I have to just define it and I have to just save it. Okay. So I'll just after saving it, it will generate a TR and I will save it. Once it is done, so I can use this TREW in the future for whatever the compensation model I'm designing. In the next step, what I will do, configuring the gross compensation model. Okay, inside this. So if I go to the by default, it will choose 10 because I have set the benefit area to 10. Okay. So now I will choose which compensation model I would like to
just
configure.
Put TR.
So whatever I have chosen the compensation model which I have generated. So there are 4 options. I will go to the total reward model which I have configured. Once it is done, okay, that then next step automatically it will take me to the compensation model TREW. It will ask what are the waste types which are relevant for your compensation model which you have designed. Okay, so it is very simple, like whatever the new entry, we'll just make a new entry. Okay, then whatever so I'm not, as you know, I have not configured anything new. So what I will do, what are the existing, so people have created a lot of waste type, I will choose something from there. Okay, so suppose I'm choosing so you will be seeing all most of the things are, if you're starting with M, those are all model waste types. So I'll choose something custom one, like let's say I'm choosing 412. Okay, and sign, what is the sign here? You can choose these options like plus sign, minus sign. Plus means it is an adding, and minus is a deduction waste type. You can define that. Okay, so here weighting of waste type I have never used, but again depending upon your priority and all you can define, but I have not used this one much. Okay, so you can decide it.
Plus sign means it's an earnings, is it correct?
Yes, it is a positive one. Positive, it will be okay. So you can choose whatever the wage type is relevant for your compensation model. Okay, you decide that and you save it. Okay, so this is how you can define a gross compensation model. Okay, so once you decide your compensation model, what is the next step? So you have assigned your specific wage types. Okay, so now in the next step, what we'll do, enter wage types or plans. Okay, so what is the plan? So you can define, so for a specific say 401k I'm talking about. Okay, so here these are different wage types we have for different means plan. Okay, so if I go to specific this plan, so all these plans are actually defined here. Okay, if I go inside, okay, I am suppose choosing a benefit plan which I have chosen, say, so these are the possible benefit plan you can see. Okay, like for benefit area, this is the plan and this is the text of that particular plan. Okay, and along with that you can see these are all open, means these are actually open compensation, means these are active actually. Okay, so these are dental, healthcare, membership, dependent related till. Okay, so this is nothing much. So you have to just if anything is not there, you have to just come here and you can create here, or anything you would like to deactivate. Okay, the same way as I was explaining, you can delimit that particular plan as well. Okay, so this is where actually you are defining your benefit plan wage types, actually you are configuring here. Then next one is your deduction model. So earlier we have seen the compensation model, so now we will be seeing the deduction model. So deduction model, no one has configured anything here in this system. Okay, so it may happen in a particular plan you will be deducting something from your employee as well. Okay, suppose 401k I'm defining. Okay, so 401k and where key actually I can put some figure, random figure, and in the model I can choose the whatever model I have chosen, like means when it will be deducted. Okay, like first pay period of month, or it is similar to EMI, like when your EMI will be deducted, whether it or insurance, suppose if you are paying a premium, whether it is you're paying it annually or if you're paying it quarterly. Okay, so where exactly you are when you are going to pay, so you can define those things in this category, in this payment model. For that reason it is saying deduction model. Okay, so you can define it here and you have to just save it. Okay, so
what is a deduction model? Sorry, I'm trying to understand. Is it did we create a deduction model when we were creating models?
So basically what happens, so whenever you're defining this, okay, so whenever you're defining this, it will deduct a particular amount from the employee. Okay, so if I go inside this, there are so many things are there. There's a feature also for this. This is called MODDE. Okay, that is for deduction. Okay, so here you can see the typical example here they are given. Like if you see, weekly paid employees pay for the standard benefit plan for the first and third week of every month. Okay, and it may vary, like whether that employee, that particular month is a 4-week month or it is a 5-week month. Okay, but your employee you have to pay every first or say third week of the every month. Suppose that there is an amount to be deducted from your employee's salary. Okay, then you can define it. Okay, so this is the way. This is not again this is mostly applicable for your plans. So whenever you are deducting 401k or anything, okay, so you have to set up this for one time. Okay, for a group of employees you can decide this feature. Okay, then if you go to inside this feature also you can see this MODE feature, MODDE. Okay, so if I go to that particular feature from here also I can go. Suppose I'm going inside this feature, it will, you can see like for US they have not I think configured. Okay, but you can define the default value under your you can see under MODDE the ABKRS is actually subgroup. Okay, depending upon your payroll area you can define your deduction payment model. Okay, so in this example they have defined which are the different deduction model, whatever they have defined, whether it is a monthly payment or it is a yearly payment or it is a quarterly or it is a first week of every month, depending upon a different scenarios. you can define all these model, deduction model, and accordingly system will think of that, and it will deduct from your payment. In this way you can define it. Other than that, here assign reasons for off-cycle payroll, it is very generic one, like it is nothing to do with your payroll. Like it will say, suppose you are taking about 401k saving plan. Okay, so directly it will say what is the, generally it is covered under a bonus payment plan. Okay, suppose it is you are paid, but it is not relevant for you. Suppose I'm giving some other example. Okay, suppose any other plan, say credit plan or any health club membership plan. Okay, suppose as an employee you are paying something outside and you are also planning to reimburse that one. Okay, so that health club benefit, health club membership plan, life plan. Okay, so in this way you can configure. So this is more a relevant example: health club membership or fitness membership, gym membership. Okay, you can define those off-cycle reasons, and you can integrate with your off-cycle payroll. Okay, so that whenever you are getting paid for that particular amount, you'll be able to understand how it is paid. It is from your off-cycle payroll. Other than that, there are another set of configuration where exactly we maintain the constants. Okay, for insurance plan there is a specific constant, and for saving plans, so it will go to the next specific constants are available. Okay, so if I'm going to a specific coverage amount of this constant, okay, so I think there is some issue in this configuration. Otherwise, you will be having those GLIDP constant. Okay, so like what is the amount for that particular, that P511K, in that table you can maintain this specific constant depending upon your requirement. Okay, for dependent what is the constant, for employees what is the constant. Okay, the coverage amount basically. If it is a constant amount you can define it. Okay, so same is applicable for your saving plans as well. So actually if you see the number of configurations are much, but it is not very difficult, okay, compared to your tax and all. Okay, so you have to just these are all one-time configuration. If any changes in a subsequent year, then only you can come back here and you can change anything is required. Okay, so like here is here also you can see if there is any age limit. Suppose for in 401k the age limit for eligibility is 50 years. Okay, and depending upon your if it is up to this age, employee will be having, employer contribution will be this much, BC31, and for after this, employee means in this category, employer catch-up contribution will be this much. Okay, so you can define which wage types will go into this particular contribution. Okay, so these are all one-time activities whenever you are setting up a system, and in a year-end revision, suppose any revision is happening, then only you can come back to this all set of configurations and all. So this is all for today's. I think it is I spent more in the configuration because a lot of configurations are there. Still, you can but track of it is a lot actually. If I see the if I categorize, if I summarize these things, this falls into 4 different categories I was mentioning, so that you can quickly summarize. So these are all not configurations are much there, but if you summarize everything, is I will come back to your main. We will go back to our main page, main architecture diagram and process diagram for payroll processing or benefit integration. We have seen a lot of benefit plans today, like the health insurance plan, your insurance plan, your saving plans, 401k, flexible spending. A lot of plans are there. So those comes under the benefit plans details. At the same time, we have also seen the different info types, like screenshot I have shown you. So like there are different info types: 167, 168, 169, 170. Once you configure those only, those benefit plans and all, then only you will be able to see those respective info types. You'll be able to fill up those info types. So what I will recommend, once you get time, so you just go through those nodes which I have explained to you, and you start configuring those. Okay, then we'll be seeing those details. Once you run the payroll, then we will be seeing how those schemas, benefits are taken care. Okay, how these are generated in your results table and cumulative results table. We will see that. And also today we have seen what are the different vendors, how to set up those vendors, we have seen those are covered under your PM, that under personal management. In that we have seen how to configure those different health provider, okay, health insurance providers, saving providers, bank. Okay, we have seen those under vendor data provider. So once you have configured everything and those data are maintained, then you run the payroll. Once you run the payroll, then only we'll be seeing those results inside your FI posting and your third-party posting, the subsequent activities you have to do. To summarize, this is the how there are two categories. One main is the benefits initial setup, which we have seen under personal management mode. And second one is specific to US payroll. Under US payroll, we have seen how to configure those different benefit plans and how those benefit integrations are configured. Okay. And in upcoming session, one day after, I'll be explaining you how these are actually processed, and I will take you through. Once we go deep into the schemas, then again I will touch upon these points where exactly these benefits are configured. Basically, I'll be focusing on this point. Okay, like how this benefit IDOC works. Okay, how in the whenever you're doing the finance integrations. Okay, how IDOC comes into picture and this interface and all that I'll be discussing there. But from a benefit standpoint, so this is the only set of configuration which we do from a benefit modules. Okay, US benefits specific to US payroll. That's all for today's session. Any questions before we wind up?
Well, it's a lot, but I was going to ask a question about that interface and the IDOC, how to produce that interface. And also, I haven't worked on, you know, how you design just on Excel, how to design an interface. Just the theoretical, just a little bit of theoretical overview of what do you look out for when you are developing an interface.
Okay, so what I will do, Andy, that I'll be covering anyway, so do not worry about it. So tomorrow I'll be just covering this. So we'll start with a garnishment. Okay, this is a different another module altogether. Okay, so this is completely, but it is easy compared to your tax and benefits. It is easy to understand. Okay, so once your garnishment is over, then I will be discussing the finance integration. Then once that is done, then I'll be coming to the technical topics. So these are all functional topics till now we have discussed.
Yes.
Okay, so these are functional topics, and the technical topics I'll be covering as I have remembered: interface, IDOC interface, and also I'll be covering that payslip configuration, payslip, how to design a payslip in using HR forms. Okay, that I'll be discussing there. And other than that, the pre-DME, DME. Anyway, pre-DME, DME I'll try to cover in the inside your finance integration itself. Okay, generally those topics comes under functional topic. Pre-DME, DME configuration. Next, within the next 3 to 4 sessions, I think we'll be done. Okay, then once we're done, then if any queries, then I can, if you require, then you can ask me anything you would like to, anything additional session, then we can take off it. Okay?
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah, welcome, Deep. Yeah.
Have a good day. Yeah.
Yes, you. Bye. Good night.